Come on. Come on. You can. Good morning. How are you, my friend from TMZ?
Did you watch the football game last night?
Yes, I did. That's why I'm in such a bad mood this.
Sometimes his authenticity is a political problem, and other times it's a great advantage.
None of us like to be unpopular in our workplace, and I've seen McCain be unpopular time and time again. Sometimes for excellent reasons, sometimes for not great reasons.
We don't always agree. You know, I've got a job to do, he's got a job to do, but I never doubt his motivation as to why he's doing it.
We're not going to bet against the United States of America. Well,
he tries to study an issue. He tries to come to a conclusion that's in keeping with his values, but also, you know, rooted in reality.
3,500 troops, all this kind of stuff. I think he knows this is not a straight line in life. There's going to be curves.
Morning, how are you? Morning.
I wouldn't bet against him. He faces his mortality now with the same kind of fearlessness that has characterized his life.
They're going to keep people waiting here.
If you want to really know him, his favorite book is For Whom the Bell Tolls. And the protagonist in that, Robert Jordan, goes to fight in the Spanish Civil War, and he knows that it's a hopeless cause, and yet he gives his life for it.
Senator McCain, at Army.
I was born on the 29th of August, 1936, at a naval base in the Panama Canal Zone. My family goes back militarily all the way to the Revolutionary War. And my life seemed to be charted out for me. I did feel pressure from the time I was very small to do well. As a young man going to the Naval Academy, I was following in the footsteps of my father and my grandfather. Yes, I was once one of you 6 decades ago in the age of sail. I was an undistinguished member of the class of 1958. My superiors didn't hold me in very high esteem in those days. Their disapproval was measured in the hundreds of miles of extra duty I marched in my time here. But I realized a little later in life that I hadn't fully appreciated all that the Academy was trying to teach me. Lessons about sacrificing for something more important than yourself. Lessons about courage and humility. God only knows how I graduated from the Naval Academy. I didn't enjoy studying. I just knew what I had to do to get by. There's no doubt that I was a rebel and always breaking the rules. Everybody knew who my father was, and so I thumbed my nose at him. But at the same time, I didn't want to embarrass my family.
God's father just emanated power and strength. One day, his father came down on a Saturday to take us to lunch. And for some reason, they got into a bit of an argument. John was walking at a fast pace, swinging his left arm, and I remember his father was walking the same way, swinging his left arm. I said, these guys are so much alike. They're combatants with a penchant for leadership. It was just a natural ability. You can't teach that kind of leadership. You have to be born with that.
Admiral McCain, what would you say about the importance of leadership in the Navy?
Leadership is the single most important factor as far as achievement, success, and the completion of a job to be done. And furthermore, you have got to have a tolerance for the failings of individuals because all of us have them.
My father was a submarine commander in World War II in the Pacific. My grandfather was the commander of the aircraft carriers in the Pacific. But I always knew that I was going to be a naval aviator. I was going to go out there and fly airplanes and shoot down MiGs.
So far in 1967, the number of U.S. troops killed in Vietnam has nearly doubled. Air power is the one thing we most conspicuously have, and the enemy has not.
During that period of time, they decided to escalate the air war over North Vietnam. We started striking targets inside Hanoi, which we had never done before. I got over the target and rolled in, and just as I released my bombs, a missile took the wing off the airplane. So I ejected. When I hit the airstream, it broke my arms and also my leg. Strangely enough, I landed in a lake in the center of the city of Hanoi. Someone took a picture of the Vietnamese pulling me out of the water, and they were not happy. One of them stabbed me with a bayonet, and another one smashed my shoulder. And then some North Vietnamese army came and they took me to the prison camp that we called the Hanoi Hilton.
Yesterday, over Hanoi, 3 American planes were shot down and at least 2 of their pilots captured. One of them was Lieutenant Commander John McCain III, the son of the U.S. naval commander in Europe.
I came in from school one day and my mother was sitting at the kitchen table crying. And I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "Well, your father's been shot down." And that's all I know right now, but I expect to hear more from your granddad pretty soon.
When I first found out, I didn't understand it all myself. I wasn't dumb and happy. I didn't really understand what it was all about. It never occurred to me that anything would happen to him. He was always kind of invincible in my mind.
I got a call in the middle of the night, and my father and mother were both on the phone, which is very unusual. Usually one would call me, not the other. And they told me that John had been shot